It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
Hey, if you're a grandparent or if your parents are still around and you have kids, like, what's the actual rules to that as far as, like, should they be approaching you to spend more time with the kids? Are you okay with calling them? Apparently, there is a rule to this. You're going to hear in a couple of seconds. Hopefully, it'll help you out as we get the podcast started.
Bingo! How fun!
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo. Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! Bingo! All right, so call us quick if you fit one of the following two criteria. Cat's on the hunt for anyone listening who
has seen something crazy and wild on the road. A 7-foot alligator, a very Florida story, by the way, was trying to cross the highway.
Right now, we got a gator that's sitting in the middle of a roadway who looks a little unhappy with us and probably everyone around here. And I got to figure out what we're going to do to get him away from all these people and all these cars.
Honk.
There we go. Just take a rest for me, buddy.
Watch out, this thing can go.
Yeah, doing this today was not exactly what I thought was going to be taking place, but I won't complain.
I was on the way home Friday after the show, and I took the back roads just because it was a nice day, and I liked having a little sunshine on me.
And you saw a gator?
No, but there was a mama cat with 3 kittens in the road. And this was like a 55-mile-an-hour zone, and I was like, so when I went by, obviously I swerved around, but I hit the horn hard, trying to scare those cats away. Like, I'm like, you're going to lose all your kitties.
Yeah. She doesn't think about that, right?
Yeah, selfish mom.
Yeah. Let's go across the road.
I'm looking for anyone listening who has had like a life-changing surgery lately. I was, my wife and I grabbed a beer real quick and a pizza on the way home Saturday night. And the guy I was talking to just had, and I'm not exactly sure what the name of the surgery is, but something where they kind of like go through your kidneys. It's not like he wasn't on dialysis.
Yeah.
But they somehow cleaned out his kidney. They had to go in and like scrub his kidneys or something like that, right?
Okay.
Or his kidney.
And then he was back drinking.
And he was like, this 3 weeks off the surgery, and this guy was getting after it.
What is
and I was
his
like,
deal?
man, you're not even going to like just give it a little time. So maybe start thinking about like the life-changing surgery could be something. Cameron, which one do you fit?
The crazy thing on the road.
What'd you see, girl?
I actually sent you guys the video. I was on my way to work one morning and going through the stoplight, and all of a sudden everybody's like slamming on their brakes.
What
and
is that?
There's this semi going through, I don't know what it was, but I had to take a video of it. At first I thought it was like one of those things, those propellers for those giant windmills.
Yeah, that's not that.
But
do you know what those look like?
yeah,
Yeah, I do.
don't know what it is. But
it looks like...
Looks like the side of a spaceship or something.
it looks like something NASA would launch.
Wow. That's a wide load.
yeah, it was pretty insane.
Huh.
That's crazy. And then
They had everybody stopped for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And you videotaped it while you were driving.
Well, I was kind of.
You guys are insane. Well, and we don't know what that was.
Huh.
No idea.
That is...
Hey, Cameron, I got to ask you a question. Speaking of seeing stuff on the road.
Yeah.
I got like way too... I realized this weekend I get way too excited about a good convoy. I don't understand
like a bunch
why.
of semis in a row?
It's like that American pride. I don't even know. Like we saw 3 sets of like 30. So it was obviously transport day for all their
military
equipment.
vehicles.
And I was like, yeah. And I did and Liam was so embarrassed. I did the honk and the thumbs up, and I was like, oh, we support you. I was such a loser, but I'm like, I didn't realize I loved convoys so much.
When was the last time you gave the trucker the big sign, like to pull his horn, Cameron?
My dad's actually a trucker, so we would do that a lot when we were kids, and we'd go on road trips and stuff out to North Dakota to see my grandparents, and I still do it occasionally.
I do
and
it
sometimes you can get them to do it. Sometimes they just look at you like you're stupid.
Now that the weather's nicer, I do it every time I see a semi. Every time.
You know, when it's a kid, it's cute, but then like when you're an adult female, they expect a boob. Like, come on, we're not just going to honk for anybody.
And my wife gets so embarrassed because like she's a little bougie and she drives a Tesla.
Yeah.
And so I think it's funny to hang out the passenger side window when we pass the semi and give them the honk thing.
Put your arm back in our expensive car.
She's when she's focused on driving, she's really dialed in. So she doesn't know that I do it. And all of a sudden, she said, "What is that guy's problem?" But I encourage everyone to do it. Your dad, I'm sure, loves it, right?
Oh, yeah, he loves to do it.
Especially little kids in the back window doing that to truckers is the best. Hey, I appreciate you being part of the show. I hope you have a great morning. Good morning and welcome back. I'm JJ. Kat's here as well with this text from
Crystal. She had texted on Saturday a pic from yoga. And the message was this guy crashed hot yoga again for the second time this week. He walks in, gets set up, throws a towel over his face, and falls asleep, and he snores throughout. It's very distracting. So obviously leaving an open-ended response for us and listeners. That kind of sounds like a dream to fall asleep somewhere super hot and sweat it out and lose calories while you sleep. I get the appeal. I wonder if he works out and then he's like, I'm just going to do a little bit more.
Is it the cool down?
The cool down and the relaxation part. I get the appeal of yoga. I think that it's a cool vibe.
You ever fell asleep at the gym?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
In the sauna?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place
Several times. Good workout. And then the sauna is right there. And I'm just leave my shorts on, go in.
Yeah.
And you lean. If there's no one in there, sometimes I lay down on the top bench. And next thing you know, you kind of wake yourself up.
As much as you want to look at it, Crystal, is your gym because you pay to go there. He pays to go there too. So he can do whatever he wants. It's up to the instructor to say, sir, hello. Did you fall asleep?
Probably better than having that guy staring at your booty while you're downward dogging, you know?
Yeah, that's true too. There's some sketch characters that go to the gym to get their workout on, but they also weird you out. There is a
meat
gym
market
not too far from here that had almost every day, but like at a different time of the day. People are going to know what I'm talking about. This guy would go into the sauna and pee on the rocks, and it would heat it up.
God.
And it would smell. So then they'd have to go in and they'd have to sanitize over and over again. And they were trying to figure out who is checking
mystery urinator.
It was all throughout all different days. And then sometimes he'd go 2 days without going. And then all of a sudden the pee would be there. Can you even imagine that? How gross. And it would make the whole area around it where children are smell like hot pee.
I used to shave in the sauna when a completely different gym when I was living in another city, because you get in there and shave my head. And
That's really
what
gross.
I would do is I would take a couple of paper towels, and I would shave because your head is you're sweating. It's a natural lubricant. I could shave without shaving cream or anything, and then I would just tap my razor on one of the paper towels. I would never leave crap behind, but I would shave my head in there. It was the best shave I ever got.
That's really gross. You take it upon yourself and shave in a communal area like that?
Well, I wasn't leaving anything behind. I was just shaving. It wasn't like I
think it's the
shaving another
visual,
body part.
The optics of the grooming.
I'd like to find. Will you call real quick with the weirdest thing you've seen at the gym? Okay.
So she had texted us, and I love that she paired it with a picture. It is nice to see. I'm sure the guy would not appreciate being photographed, but she said this is a text picture from hot yoga. This is on Saturday. Said this guy came in for hot yoga for the second time this week. He walks in, gets set up, puts a towel over his face, and then he falls asleep. He snores. It's distracting.
Legend.
My gym, my rules. It just kind of seems like that's the life he lives. And I don't know, maybe he just likes to sweat off the calories and take a little snooze after a really good workout.
Some of those rooms get to be 110 degrees.
I'm more along your thoughts. Would I rather have him in there looking at everyone's butt and oogling and making people feel uncomfortable? No. But obviously this made Crystal feel
I'm not a yoga-ish type guy. I'm not really built for long, stretchy kind of things. Mm-hmm. But the times that I have taken yoga classes, I feel like a pervert.
You do?
It's hard to not.
We probably think you are too.
It's really hard to not look. You look up and you hear the instructor, and there's 5 booties in your face.
And it's a shame because you might just be there to get limber. And here we are thinking like Merv the perv is here again.
And then the other thing I'm thinking is like, well, I should be in the front row so I don't look like a perv. But I don't want everyone looking at me either because I'm not very good at this.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on this, Margot.
Like, yoga is comfy. I get it. I have actually been in a class before where my, like, you know, whatever, my, like, person next to me has fallen asleep while we were all laying on our backs. I get it. I feel like somebody might be using the space because they don't want to go home. If you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
I kind of would be like, guys, don't wake him up because I want to know if, like, maybe he's in the doghouse, you know? Like, let's find out what's going on.
Oh, so you're being kind. You're just like, let him get some Z's.
I mean, yeah, I'm being kind, but I'm also being nosy.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would say I would quietly get everyone to roll up their mats, shut the light off.
Lock the door. Yeah.
And somebody leave a camera running. That's what I want. I want that whoever's reaction after they fall asleep at a yoga class to wake up and realize the entire class is done and gone. I want that reaction. That's what I would do there. Kat has never heard the Teddy Bear song.
Is this going to make me cry?
So, probably, maybe a little bit. I want to play part of it for you. So it's about, you got to hear this. Okay, so. I don't know why it's
about trucker.
On the radio line.
Yeah, it's a trucker.
And he said, Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear. Well, I keyed the mic and I said, you got it, Teddy Bear. And the little boy's voice came back on the air. Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end? I told him my handle, and then he began. Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off there. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk. 'Cause that's about all I can do. I'm crippled and I can't walk.
Okay.
I came back and told him to fire up that mic. And I'd talk to him as long as he liked.
So let me get a little further into the song.
I got home and each driver said goodbye and then they were all gone.
So he gets all these other semi-drivers to come by and give Teddy Bear a ride in their semis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you better believe I took my turn at riding Teddy Bear. And then I carried him back in and put him down in his chair. And, buddy, if I never live to see happiness again, I want you to know I saw it that day in the face of that little man.
So they all drive to Teddy Bear's house and give him a ride.
Yeah, the wording is a little off, but what a beautiful story.
Yeah, his name is Red Sovine. If you're looking to Red Sovine, Sovine, when I worked country radio, we had a Sunday morning show where it was all just old classic country stuff. And every once in a while, I'd have to fill in for the guy that did it. And the amount of requests you get for Teddy Bear and those trucker songs are crazy.
Coming up next with Kat and JJ.
And it's hard, like when you have kids, all of a sudden you listen to it and it's like, oh my God.
He's sitting alone in a wheelchair.
I can't talk after the song because that poor kid is sitting at home in a wheelchair on a CB.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
it's a beautiful story.
Every trucker's into him. Tuesday morning brings you a ton of money plus tickets for Lakefront Music Fest. You got Keith Urban, you got George Thorogood and the Destroyers, you got Billy Idol. It's a great 2-day event in Prior Lake. We've got tickets for you tomorrow morning as well as we wrap up the podcast now. So what's the hot take this morning?
The hot take is from this grandmother on TikTok, and this is how she feels about the roles of grandparents.
I think it's always the grandparents' responsibility. I think it's the grandparents' responsibility to always reach out, to be the ones saying, well, can we help with this? Can we come and visit? Can we take them there? And I don't think kids should be the ones, your children shouldn't be the ones that need to sort of facilitate that relationship. It's up to the grandparents to do that. If grandparents are coming back with things like, well, it's our time now, it's your time to be with your grandchildren and to help in every way you can.
That's reasonable,
I agree with that. A lot of people that are raising their kids right now, it's such a blur. I never remembered to reach out to my parents, to my in-laws to say, you know, would you like to take him? They would always just say, can we have him this weekend? Or, you know, and that's such an amazing bond that kids need to have. This is their village. Like I was at my grandparents' almost every single weekend growing up, and I have the best memories. And so I just don't think that you have to wait until the parent who is rearing like 3 young children to reach out to you. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you're just going to sit there and wait for them to say, hey, can you take them? Or you'll probably say, hey, drop the kids off this weekend.
I'll probably be a little more proactive than that. Like, I think when it comes to the time where you're going to have grandchildren, your kids have probably been out of the house for a while, and you're missing that.
Yeah.
And you'll probably want that. But some grandparents are just fine with, hey, we moved to Florida, we moved to Arizona, and we'll see them when we see them when you guys get here.
But then you cannot complain about a lack of bond.
Yeah.
You know, and that's some grandparents get a little butthurt. Like, why aren't they as close to me as they are with grandparents that live in state? Well, it's, you know.
So like my dad had a handful of sisters who always had their kids at my grandparents' place.
Yeah.
And so like we didn't go over there a lot, but we lived 6 blocks away. So it wasn't like you were missing them.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's obviously a two-way street, but as a grandparent, I don't have a problem with being the proactive one here.
I want to know if this is an issue with you as you, raise your children. You're like, where is everybody? What's going on? Where are the grandparents?
When you live a long ways away, if you live a couple hours from your parents, then obviously it's a little bit different. You got to make a day out of the deal.
We had neighbors, Beth and Jamie, when we lived in our first house, and they had 2 young kids, and they had never spent the night away from their children. And their parents and his parents, her parents, his parents lived within 20 miles. And I'm like, they've never gone over for a sleepover, or you've never gone out of town.
Well,
like
I took every opportunity I could to get my kids out of the house, and we were raising 3 of them.
I just think it's important. They need to know like other places, other people that love them. Okay, so we're talking about this hot take, this grandmother on TikTok. She had this to say about the relationship between grandparents and their grandkids.
I think it's always the grandparents' responsibility. I think it's the grandparents' responsibility to always reach out, to be the ones saying, well, can we help with this? Can we come and visit? Can we take them there? And I don't think kids should be the ones, your children shouldn't be the ones that need to sort of facilitate that relationship. It's up to the grandparents to do that. If grandparents are coming back with things like, well, it's our time now, it's your time to be with your grandchildren, and to help in every way you can.
Pretty logical.
And also, as a grandparent, if they say no, not this weekend, don't get upset. You know, there are a lot of grandparents that fine. You know, I reached out. I said I was going to take them.
And when you aren't like, the family calendar thing is phenomenal. My wife shares our family calendar with her parents.
Yeah.
And they know every opportunity there is to see their grandkids, whether it's we got to drive a little ways, whether they can come to there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's kind of a cool thing that, you know, technology has given us. Thoughts on this, Caitlin?
Yeah. So like, thankfully, my family, like my parents had me really young, but they have been active with our 4 kids since the day we had our firstborn.
Yeah.
But my in-laws are the polar opposite. They'll make little side comments. They've never watched my kids, but they'll be like, oh, your parents always have the kids. And my husband will say, like, well, yeah, like, they're the only ones that offer to ever take them or to watch them. And to be honest, they're the only ones I trust with my kids.
Are your husband's, like, parents a long ways away, or are they close?
No, they're close.
So do you feel like they're waiting for you? If you were to call them today and say, we need your help this weekend, do you think that they would help you?
Absolutely not. Even in the past, when we've been in a pinch and my parents are gone, even then we'll be like, hey, is there any way you can watch the kids like for 2 hours? And they're like, oh, this is so last minute. And we're like, okay, well, we can't rely
What have they got going on? Are they? How busy can they be?
Nothing. They're retired.
Yeah.
And, but I also have friends that have absolutely like, they don't trust their in-laws or their parents.
So why don't you trust them? Like, what is something about them that is untrustworthy?
Are they heavy alcoholics or what?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thankfully, I have great parents that my husband and I went on like a mini moon after our wedding, and then we went to Key West for a full week, and they watched our kids, didn't question it. Like,
but if you were to reach out to the in-laws today and say, hey, Friday, we need you to watch the kids for 2 hours, they probably wouldn't be able to pull that together?
Honestly, I haven't asked in years, so it wouldn't even
they wouldn't even respond probably.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
And then they're probably like, well, you haven't asked in for so long, but like that's the whole don't touch that burner over and over again.
You ever walked into a car dealership and asked for a free car?
Yeah.
Well, you only do that once before you realize you're not going to get it. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
I'm sorry
crazy.
that you don't have like two groups to count on because it's so like grandparents relationships. That's why I don't like if there's an active grandparent, but they're not in good graces with like the mom or dad, and the mom or dad are like, I'm never going to let you see the kids again. I don't think that's fair.
But at least you got one good side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
like that.
there is no excuse. My parents had me young, so they had me at 15, 16, so there is no excuse for
I got you. All right. Hey, thank you for calling. I really appreciate your thoughts on this. I hope you have a great morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. You guys wake up with us, and we're grateful for that. But to hear how Kat talks to other people throughout the weekend, a little bit disturbing.
Just the mansplainers. Just, all right, little lady.
Well, you got to tell
how to mark
you got
off
to tell everybody the story then.
fouls. Okay, so I am so cheap that the coach said if you run clock or board or clock or book, you get in for free. And these AAU tournaments are literally like $25 to $45 for a weekend pass. It's crazy. And so I'm like, okay, I'll run clock. I feel comfortable, start and stop, plus and minus.
Yeah.
I can do that. And then I walk up and this dad beeline for the scoreboard. I said, oh, do you want to do book? And he goes, I don't have my glasses. And I go, well, do you want to go get them?
How did that go?
And he was like, no, I'm going to do the board. And right then I'm like, I got your number. I know these kind of dads. And so I was like, okay. So then I sat there and I had the book and it was so easy. Foul, team foul. Made a shot. You just mark it down, blah, blah, blah. So every single shot, he just shot. He just made 2 points. I said, yeah, I know. I got it marked down. Like, stop it. Every single shot. This happened for 50 points. He kept doing this. And then my kid takes to the line over and over again because he's getting pummeled, okay? And some of his shots weren't falling. Normally, he is like 10 out of 10 free throw kid. And so I could tell he's getting frustrated. And the guy next to me, he's like, man, it'd be nice if that kid could make his free throws. And I said, this is so out of character for me, STFU, like the full version. And he was like, whoa. And then Liam's coach was like, ooh, mama bear. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Like, I mean, it's like, scoreboard keeping 101. Know who you're sitting next to before you crap talk. A child, you idiot. And he seemed like one of those that had a really good game senior year. And will tell you about it after a few
We
beers.
could have went to state if everybody else was as good as I was.
Buzzer beater 3-pointer. Then I went and played JUCO. And I'm like, listen, I know your type.
So you didn't make any friends is what you're saying?
I did not with him. Nope. And he walked out quickly. I was like, yeah, you best be gone.
Did you lead with Kat from the radio?
I did not.
This morning show thing going on. You should listen.
No, I didn't.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Making friends.
I have always taught Liam to share if he had to. I'll pack him a lunch for after track meets on the bus so he can have some food. But I know he's nice enough to give it to his friends.
Sure.
Whatever. This mom is making somewhat of a good point here.
I never, ever will make my kids share their stuff that they brought with another child. Number one, you should have brought your own. Number two, that's their toy. They don't have to share with you. Number three, you don't have to do something just because somebody asks. I think especially for women, that is really important to learn. Now, if my kids want to share, yeah, sure, go along for it. Now, if you're coming over to our house to play for a play date, that's very different, right? Because we're welcoming them into our space, okay? But if we're out and about, my kid doesn't want to share her doll with your kid, she doesn't have to.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what another rule was that I heard another mom say? I'm never going to make my kids hug someone that they don't want to hug. And after a while of being a parent, that kind of made sense. I'm like, I don't want to hug everybody. And what if my kid doesn't want to hug somebody? Should I make them hug everybody goodbye before we leave?
No, I just say goodbye.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that. I'm like,
fist bump is the easy way to go on that.
Yeah.
But the sharing thing, if your kid's got a new toy, I wouldn't ever encourage my child not to share with his friends.
Really? Well, I would say, listen, if you're going to take this to the park, there are going to be kids that want to play with it. So think about it. Do you want to leave it here and just go play with what is at the park? Or do you want to risk it?
That's one of the best things about having something great is sharing it. Like, I always felt that way. Like, if I had something that was new and it was awesome, a new bat, new glove, whatever the deal was, I wanted everybody else to use it to see how awesome it was.
I was very surprised with Liam being an only child. Like, he never had a problem with sharing. Like, he would just do it. But there are certain things that I wouldn't want to share. Like, I do not like sharing my drink with anybody. Like anyone.
It's just kind of nasty. You can get a cold.
You could get a cold.
So I get that.
People don't think about that. Like we go to, New Year's Eve parties, stuff like that. And this guy's like, oh, what you drinking? And I said, I just made a mojito. He goes, oh, I love mojitos. Let me try. And the whole time I watched him drink.
Not down with that.
And then so I faced the cup. And so it lined up. My middle finger lined up with where his mouth was because I was just like so paranoid about
his germs are still in there now.
That's what I just kept thinking about it.
I'm not into sharing a drink.
Like,
you want to take a fry off my plate? I don't have a problem with that. Or, I'll make you a drink. But, I don't know.
Yeah, call in with what you just will not share with anybody. Maybe it is like your favorite treat. And if someone was like, hey, can I have a bite? You're like, no, not today. This is my favorite treat. Or toothbrush, that would be on the top of the list.
My son had to work yesterday, and he took my truck. And and he only had to drive a mile to work. And I'm like, I didn't want to share my truck with him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I get it.
I go, you have a car? Well, it's a mile away. He's like, yeah.
So he was going to drive your truck just to have it sit there?
Well, he bartends at a little itty bitty bar in the middle of nowhere. And he goes, I get better street credit if I roll up in your truck. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was telling Kat this story real quick before the show started. My daughter is a senior at St. Ben's. And she starts her doctorate program like 3 weeks after she graduates here in a few days. And she has a lot of stuff to be proud of. But she called us yesterday because they won the citywide scavenger hunt, her and her team. And she had the pride in her voice. And I'm like, oh, I'm really proud of you. Great job, right? Like you had to drink 45 beers and then run around town. She's like, I had 14,000 steps in before noon. And she was just going on and on. And she's like, this is easily the best day of my life.
Oh, no.
She said that.
Up until now.
and I said, wait, your life was pretty meaningless until you won the scavenger hunt where you got a free T-shirt from a bar?
Yeah.
And she's like, yep, best day of my life.
That stuff stings when you show them the world and when you give them everything, but like that's the best day of their life.
For 22 years, we have had you completely safe, good to go, tried to give you your best life. And the best day of your life was winning a scavenger hunt for a bar T-shirt.
They don't think before they speak.
So this is better. This is better than everything. Like
you've traveled,
made the dean's list, went to Spain last year. All this stuff that was nothing compared to this. She's like nothing compared to
what
this.
What a high!
And apparently, it was the thing that really got over the edge was as they were running through someone's backyard, trespassing. A woman who was out gardening stopped them and said, "Hey, would you girls like a Gatorade?" And Reagan said that was the greatest part of the day.
Okay.
The greatest part of the day, which was the greatest day of your life.
I think when she's clear-minded today, ask her what the best moment of her life is.
The way she sounded yesterday, it'll be more than past today before she gets clear-minded again. But that damn sack.
Coming up next, here's what's next with Kat and JJ.
40 days of partying to wrap up your senior year is just...
That sounds awful.
At my age, I'm just like, I couldn't imagine 4 days, much less 40.
Yeah.
You remember what you were like, though, when you were 21?
Yes.
You could have did it.
I know. I had just in case underwear if I had to sleep over at a friend's house, and that was it. Maybe a toothbrush. But I was wild, man.
I'm happy we didn't have Tamsack when I was in college. It would have been a bad, I would have never been here.